Maddie.
This is the main office. We're going to ask Miss Connie a couple questions. What do you do in the office?
Well, we take in new students, so we try to make everyone feel welcome in here. This is where a parent would come to register their child and to start their life here at Sterlington High. Students that are here mainly go to student services, but sometimes we do their work over here too if they're not there. But students may come in here if they've lost something, or if they maybe need to see the nurse or someone in the back, one of the principals. All for a good thing though, so it's all good.
This is student services. We're going to ask Ms. Cheryl a couple questions. Why do students come to student service?
Typically, students will come in here if they're checking in or checking out, or my hallway does lead to the counselor's office back there. There's two on the left. Both are marked above the door. Pretty much that's it. Check in, check out. To turn in doctor's notes. There's a slot here with a sign, so you can just leave them here if I'm not sitting here. If I'm sitting here, you can hand it to me. And any school-related questions. This is kind of a student services, student question hub.
Why did you choose to become a principal?
Well, I coached for about 21 years at 3 or 4 different schools around the area, one out of state, including here. I was the head coach here and athletic director for 4 years. So had an opportunity, I guess, in 2017. Mr. Ashley, that was the principal here, was going to retire. He and Mr. Ford, who was an assistant principal here for a long time, were both going to retire about the same time. And so they had asked if I'd had an interest possibly in getting into administration. I really hadn't thought about it at that time. And so, had some conversation with my wife about it, prayed about it, and probably the toughest decision I ever had to make in my life. But that being said, it's one that I'm glad I made. I'm certainly enjoying my time here as principal, and getting to go work with students and faculty like yourself has been fun. So I've enjoyed myself so far.
What should upcoming freshmen expect?
Well, be yourself, I think, is probably the best advice that I could give them. But what do they expect? We feel like there's a lot of school pride here. We try to compete every day, not only in the classroom, but in anything we do extracurricular, whether it's on the playing field or in the band or in the beta club or the Spanish club. Whatever it is we're doing here, we certainly want to compete and try to be the best that we can. And we expect that out of all our students, just to give their very best effort, and whatever it is they choose to do, always represent Sterlington High School in our community in a first-class manner, and we take great pride in that. We've got a lot of people in the area that want to attend our school, so we try to keep that in mind of who we're representing, what we're representing, and those you guys that are coming in, you'll figure that out. It's the same way at the middle school as well. You guys take great pride in competing in everything that you do, and that's no different here. And we just certainly look forward to getting you guys here and getting you going.
So what should incoming freshmen expect from your class?
They should expect daily quizzes in Edulastic. They should expect to be familiar with Desmos and be prepared every day with pencil and paper, please.
So why did you choose to teach Algebra 1?
I love math. To me, it's like a puzzle that you're trying to solve. And so when I teach it to the kids, I try to get y'all to understand that we're working towards solving a mystery. So that's why I like math.
So who do you think the scariest freshman teacher is?
Coach Patterson. For sure, Coach Patterson. Because the kids are always having to do work for Coach Patterson in my class. Drives me crazy.
So what advice do you have for incoming freshmen?
I would say to get involved, because getting involved helps you feel more comfortable. It helps you make friends. It helps your friend group grow. So I would say find something that interests you and get involved with that, and then just excel. Come ready to learn, and when you do your part, everything else will fall into place.
So when are tennis tryouts?
Tennis tryouts are usually the end of September, and our season starts February and runs through April.
So why do you like coaching tennis?
I love tennis because it's a sport that y'all can play when you leave high school. It's a sport you can play when you're a grown-up. It's a sport you can play when you're older. Whereas a lot of the other sports that y'all play, cheerleading, baseball, softball, etc., while I love all of those, when high school's over, those kind of end unless you move on to college and do them. But when high school's over, you can always still play tennis.
So what advice do you have for people that are trying out for tennis?
I would go get private lessons. They offer them at Forsyth. They offer them at Caroli Park. I would go get private lessons before you come to tennis tryouts, so that's not the first time you've picked up a tennis ball or held a tennis racket. But I have lots of newbies this year, so don't let that intimidate you. And the goal would be that you would grow as a tennis player throughout the season, and if you start with me as a freshman, come your senior year, you're going to be awesome.
Behind me are the tennis courts.
So why did you choose to teach math?
To be honest, I kind of always wanted to be a teacher, but when I got to high school, I just loved math so much. I was very close to my high school math teacher, and I think she just really inspired me. And I went to college, got a degree in math, and I've never looked back since. I've just always done math stuff. I just love it. I've always loved it, and I hope that shows through in my teaching of math.
So what should upcoming freshmen expect in your class?
I think the biggest expectations is that in my class is just to take care of your business and just get things done. Make sure you're doing your work. Make sure you're studying. We do have. I'm a math teacher, so have your Chromebooks ready to go and just learn some math.
So who do you think the meanest freshman teacher is?
I wouldn't say necessarily meanest. I don't think we have mean teachers here at our school. But I would say somebody who has high expectations of being on time to class is Coach Patterson. You have to be on time or you're going to get a tardy slip every time.
I'm here with Miss Taylor at Sterlington High School in the library, and I'm going to ask her a few questions. We were wondering, what made you become a librarian here at Sterlington High School?
Well, I was teaching English classes, and I had an opportunity to move to a school and become the librarian when their librarian went on to be their principal. So that's what I just decided to do. I applied for that job, loved it, and just stayed in that position, and then moved here to Sterlington whenever this position became available.
Do you love your job?
I love my job. Yes, I do.
Most excited about for our new freshmen coming here next year?
I'm always excited just to see the new faces and get a new group of kids in. They're always excited and a little scared when they first get here. But once they learn that we're friendly people and we are not a huge school, it's always great. And I just love when I get readers that come in and want to read books and check out books and stuff. It's always exciting.
Yes, ma'am. What's your favorite part about the library here?
Just seeing the kids every day coming in and out. I'm also the Chromebook manager, so this year it's been mostly people coming in and out for Chromebooks more than books. But I do love when they come in and want to read books and seeing, what they're interested in and helping them find books that they love to read.
This is my first hour. I have Coach Glenn, and he's a really nice teacher. We aren't allowed to say I don't know in his class.
Population there. Wow. Ready. Start with Alan. Right here. What article?
What should upcoming freshmen expect?
They should expect to work hard. We have a good group of upperclassmen. They just need to come and fit in and love the game. And we got two things on our board. It says be a family and have fun. So if they want to come up and be a part of our family, have fun, and get better at basketball, that's what they should expect.
Why did you choose to become a basketball coach?
I chose basketball because it was my favorite sport to play in high school. I played football, baseball, basketball, ran track, but basketball was my favorite, so I figured I love it, I might as well coach it.
This is the main gym. This is the second gym. It's a little bit smaller than the other one.
What should upcoming freshmen expect? To come in here and play hard. They're going to be coached hard, so they need to be coachable and with great attitudes. And I also want them to work hard in the classroom, on the court, off the court, whatever it is we're doing. They're like hard workers with great attitudes who listen and are coachable.
Why did you decide to become a basketball coach?
Well, I love basketball. I love working with young people. So I like to see them grow and improve, and so it's just a perfect fit.
I'm walking to Breen's class. We don't normally do much in Breen's class. Normally we just work on DBQ stuff. Nobody really talks in that class. Very quiet.
What made you get into coaching?
Well, I've always liked football since I was little. It was my favorite sport by far. And when I got to high school, my dad had passed my sophomore year, and so I really looked up to a lot of the coaches on staff, especially Coach Bourgeois, who was my quarterback coach at the time. And, you know, since they was a father figure in my life, so I kind of figured that since I loved football and that could give me a chance to maybe reach out to young kids, you know, as a career.
What can freshmen expect coming into the football program next year?
Well, I mean, you're getting into something that's got a lot of tradition here. We've had a lot of success in years past, and that doesn't come cheap. We put a lot of hard work into it, and we're looking for some kids that are ready to come up here and be coachable and do whatever we ask to do and help to keep that tradition going and keeping Sterlington alive.
This is the field house. This is the weight room. Okay, now we're gonna go to the locker room. This will be the older guys' locker room. The trainer Anna will be here. And he's obviously over here. And this is Coach's office. These will be his right here. This is head coach, Coach Davies' office right here. There's another bathroom with players and coaches. And this would be the offensive coaches room, but it's not. This is the second locker room for the younger players, and it's the same thing, green circle, and there's the bathroom. So this is where you'll exit if you're playing on Friday nights. Right through the double doors.
How'd you get into coaching?
Well, I enjoyed playing for my coach when I was in junior high. He was a role model to me, and I always thought I wanted to be just like him, so that was probably the main reason I got into it.
What do upcoming freshmen need to expect for this program?
Just, you know, hard work and, you know, some personal items, you know, learn how to be on time, learn how to respect your teammates, learn how to do things the right way. You know, everything else usually falls into place after those things.
This is the football field, so if you're playing soccer, you're running track, or you're playing football, this is where you'll be. And we have the home stadium back there. And the visitor stadium.
I got into coaching because I enjoyed playing so much and looked up to my coaches growing up, and it's just something I always wanted to do growing up, and I've never regretted it one day. I enjoy going to work, so it's not really a job to me.
What should incoming freshmen expect for football?
Okay, incoming freshmen from football should expect a lot of work, and I know they've built a great base at the middle school, but we have a family atmosphere up here, and but we don't mind sweating. It's a daily grind, and we embrace it, and we come in here with our motors cranked, and we expect you to have it that way every day.
So if you decide to play softball, this will be your locker room, and the field's right behind you, so let's take a look. So this is the softball field, and to my right, we have the home dugout and concession, and to my left is the visitors dugout and the back. So this is the batting cages, and you'll find most of your equipment in the T building and your nets and all the screens over there. What made you decide to coach softball?
Well, I coached baseball for a long, long time, and it was going to be a good change. Doing something new is always fun and exciting, and plus I have the opportunity to watch my daughters play. I won't miss any of their games, and I can be there to fuss at them and keep them straight.
Why should people play softball at the high school?
People should play softball at the high school because it's a great experience. You get an opportunity to play athletics. I feel like we have a good program here. You know, we prepare you for the game itself, but for life, there's a lot of lessons when you play sports. And we're proud of our team and our program, and we feel like we can compete year in and year out for championships here. So it would be a good opportunity, you know, for your athletic growth, but also, you know, to learn how to compete, and it'll help you later on in life when you get to the real world.
Coach Hickman, softball.
What made you decide to coach softball?
Well, I've played softball ever since I can remember, so I wanted to pass on what I've learned and help other young ladies do the same as I did and accomplish goals on the softball field and in life.
Why did you decide to become a baseball coach?
Well, I decided to become a baseball coach because I played in high school, and I was fortunate enough to play professional baseball for 10 years, 9 years, and coach 1 year in professional ball. So it was the only thing I knew. And when I was through playing, I decided I wanted to be a coach, and luckily I got started at West Monroe High School, Washita High School, back in about 96 or 97. And, you know, so it's really the only thing I've ever done, the only thing I've ever known. So, you know, and the upcoming freshmen that are coming up and want to try out and be on a team, you know, just be ready to work hard and continue to build on what we've built here.
Coach Brascotta, and I coach soccer.
Why should people try out for soccer?
The soccer team here is just a fun sport to be a part of, and we have a lot of fun. It's a lot of running, so if you like to run, and if you've played soccer before, I strongly suggest that you try out and come join our team.
What made you want to coach soccer?
I had some parents ask me to start a program because we didn't have a team, and at first I was a little hesitant, but I decided that I had the experience, and I had a daughter who played soccer and would be here someday, and I wanted to start a program so that she would have somewhere to play one day when she gets to high school.
This is the track for most runners and jumpers. Right here is the sandbox. This is where our jumpers come into play for our track season. Right here is our pole vault area for our pole vaulters. This area right here is for shot throwers, and if you're a thrower like me, you'll mainly be out here in this area. Back there in that little net thing, that's for discus, and javelin throwers will usually be back there on that side.
Can you tell us some information about cross country?
Well, I sure can. First of all, cross country is a sport where we run long distance, and this distance is typically, when we compete, it's for 3 miles. And we have a girls team and we have a guys team, and they both are very successful and have done very well. We've had girls and guys both make it to the podium at the state meet before. We have kids that are on all academic as well. With cross country, we work out. We have summer workouts, which will start up at the end of May. And then when school starts, our season opens. It opens at the same time that football season opens. And when it opens, we start having our meets. And our meets are usually within a 2-hour radius, which we get to go to Natchitoches, we go to Menard, which is in Alexandria, we go to Mississippi, and we always finish out our meets that we go to. We always go to like a Chick-fil-A or a Cane's or somewhere afterwards and eat and just really enjoy the camaraderie. Our state meet is actually in November, so our season ends, relatively early.
What made you want to do cross country?
Well, cross country is kind of one of those sports that it takes a special type of person to do. And I'd been used to coaching dance for so many years, and I was no longer coaching dance. And I had started cross country back in the 90s here at Sterlington. And so it was time for me to get back into it. And the kids really enjoy being together as a group and, competing and so forth.
I have geometry 4th hour, and she's my favorite teacher because she teaches slow and it's easy to follow along.
So what should upcoming freshmen expect in your class?
For geometry, it's a rigorous class. As long as they know their Algebra 1, though, they should do well in it. And it's going to prepare them for the LEAP test and for future classes after geometry. When I was in high school, I had a teacher that let me sew for her when I was in the 11th and 12th grade, and I just found out that I love teaching math, so it's what I've been doing ever since.
So what advice do you have for incoming students?
Just do your best. When you get to Sterlington High School, it's a very good school. It's really good environment, good place to learn, so just be yourself and do your best.
Who do you think the meanest freshman teacher is?
I think Mr. Patterson.
Hey, my name is Leah Reitzel, and I teach Art 1 through 4, Graphic Art and Speech.
What should upcoming freshmen expect in your class?
Expect the unexpected. I like to keep things fun, fast-paced, and interesting. You're going to get a healthy dose of drawing, painting, and art history. For graphic art, you will learn Adobe Photoshop, get a certification in that, and get skill in Photoshop and photography. And for speech, you'll get better speaking and vocal skills.
Why did you choose to teach your subject?
I have a great passion for art, the art of communication in all forms, whether it's graphic art or in the art of speaking.
What advice do you have for incoming students?
Just to relax, enjoy the process, and follow your heart.
Who is the meanest freshman teacher?
Hard to say.
What's your favorite part about band here at Sterlington High School?
Well, this year I've entered my 14th year of being band director here at Sterlington High School. When I first walked in, I had 12 kids in the band, and now we're roughly around 50. I think for me, the best part of being a band director here is when a kid finally gets it, when they're able to play the song or play the part that they've been practicing on, and they play it with pride, and they're very proud of what they're doing, and then they showcase it, and they'll be able to showcase their talents to their parents and family.
What drove you to be a band director here at Sterlington High School?
Well, I started teaching 20 years ago. My first job was at Franklin Parish. I taught at Winsboro Junior High, and then I ended up being a high school band director at Winsboro for 3 years. Then I went to Ruston, and then I went to Bastrop. And at the end of my second year at Bastrop, I got a phone call from a friend of mine saying that the band director position was going to be open at Sterlington. And I really liked the school, and I always heard that Sterlington was a great school, had great kids, but their band program wasn't very big due to the fact that a lot of kids played football. So when they called me in, I interviewed with Mr. Davis at the time, the principal, and he immediately really liked me and offered me the job, and I took it. which was really funny because I was offered another job right after that. So I came here in Sterlington 14 years ago, built a good band program. We've won numerous competitions and have received several superior ratings. And I just love being a band director. Your kids are great, and I love coming to work.
What are you most excited for the new freshmen coming into band?
I think the number of freshmen coming in from the middle school for band. I think I'm losing 8 seniors, and I think Miss McAllister I think we finally settled on a count of 17. So my band's going to be a little bit bigger next year, and the quality's going to be there. And just looking forward to getting back on the field. Not being able to do it this year with the pandemic and dealing with COVID, just being able to get back on the field and doing what we do and getting back into competitions and all that kind of stuff. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Alright, I'm here with Miss Southern here in her English classroom. She teaches English 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I was wondering, what drove you to be a teacher here at Sterlington High School?
Honestly, I think this is like my 25th year of teaching something like that, and I always wanted to teach here. Actually, my BFF teaches here, Miss Mead, and we have taught together at so many places, and she was like, you have to come out here and teach with me. So that's kind of why I came to Sterlington, and then I got the gifted English job here, and I love it. Love, love, love it.
What's your favorite part about being a teacher here?
Well, the atmosphere is really good. The faculty is really nice. We're like a little family, and we have fun and we like to laugh. And the kids are amazing because I teach the gifted kids all 4 years. We do become like a little family, and I love that.
Are you looking forward to the new freshmen coming here next year?
Oh, yeah.
Are you excited?
Yes, I love it.
What's your favorite part about your classroom while we're in here?
I've been teaching so long that I realized nobody really reads those motivational posters, and so I took them down. But the one thing that kids really like about coming in here is my picture wall. And so it's over here. And so really cool. Throughout the year, kids just send me pictures, and sometimes I stalk them like on Facebook or Insta, and I'll download them and I ask if I can print them, of course, first. And I print them and I put them up, and then every year when people go to the next class, I just change the label on top, and when they graduate, if you can see up top, I put all their pictures up there.
That's a really cool idea.
And when they come back and see me, and they usually do, that's what they're looking for every time.
Can I ask you a little bit about dual enrollment? Because I heard that you're the only one in the school that offers this into your classroom.
Okay. Yes, I am certified to teach dual enrollment. So what that means is, for gifted students, you are in my room and you get college credit. And that happens your junior year. You get credit for English 101 and 102. You'll learn to really write a research paper. And then English 4 is English dual enrollment 210. So we do level up in here, which is part of the gifted program.
I have a question. Who's the meanest teacher at this school?
Mrs. Smith. She teaches social skills. It's a building out back on the other side of the gym. She is like so mean.
Well, you heard it here.
I'm going to Miss Holland's class. We took our test yesterday, and we're starting a new lesson today.
I'm Miss Holland. I am the sponsor for the varsity dance team at Sterlington High School. We have 16 members, and we're really excited to have 4 of you 8th graders joining us this year. A lot of talent there, and we're just excited about their excitement and what they bring to the team too. We also have a new coach, which has added a new excitement. Her name is Haley Heron. She is on the Hawk line at ULM, and she has literally danced since she could walk, and she's just brings a different perspective to dance, like every new coach we get does. So we're really excited to have her. And this is Zoe Pearson. She's one of my 3-year members. So I'm going to let her talk to you a little bit about our practices and what a typical week during football season with the pep rally looks like for us.
So being on the dance team is super fun. It's really good to be a part of the Friday night activities.
Practices are pretty fun. We just usually like condition, so we're ready for the year and we have our stamina built up for all the dances. We learn our dances at practice after usually conditioning, and then we go to camp. Camp is super fun. You really bond with like all the girls on your team, and you just like compete against other schools around the Louisiana. And then after that, you have your summer off, and then you come back, and we're ready for Friday nights. We're ready for pep rallies. Pep rallies are so fun. You get up and you perform in front of literally like the whole school. It is literally the funnest thing I think I've ever done. Minus Friday nights. Friday nights, you just feel all of the crowd. You feel the football team, and you just perform in front of everyone, and the crowd goes wild. They all love when we kick and show off our skills. So it's quite an experience, and I really am glad to be a part of it. So definitely think about it, trying it out, or considering it, or watching it.
And Zoe makes it sound like a lot of fun, and it is. We are a really close group. We go out to eat together. We eat lunch together, some of us every single day. They come to my house. We go do different activities. We have a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work too. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
She just kind of skimmed over the conditioning, but that is probably their least favorite. Like she said, they're building their stamina for performances because it's only like a minute and a half, 2 minutes,
But you're constantly.
Yeah, it's a hard minute and a half or 2 minutes. So we do have a lot of fun. It is a lot of work. I don't want someone to, have false pretenses and think it's not work. It is, but it pays off.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, pep rallies, like she said, Friday night under the lights, it's amazing.
Why did you choose to be the cheer sponsor?
So I was a cheerleader when I was in high school also. So I bleed Panther blood through and through. So that was some of my most favorite memories when I was in high school. I loved being a part of the cheer squad. So when I had the opportunity to jump in and be a part of more girls coming through that same program, that was just something that I wanted to do. Miss Carolyn Sharp was my sponsor and had a big impact on my life, and so that was just something that I wanted to be able to hang out, and it's fun. Like, who doesn't love pep rallies and getting to do all that kind of stuff? So anyway, that's why I chose it.
This is this spirit room, so right after you come out of the cafeteria, this little picnic table area, you will be in here. So if you're planning on doing either cheer or dance or color guard, maybe on rain days and things like that, cheer practice in here regularly.
What made you want to sponsor Color Guard?
Well, back in the early 90s when I was at ULM in the Sound of Today, it was NOU at the time, we visited with the Color Guard, and the Color Guard is an extension of the band program. It shows the artistic style of the music that we play on the field, and it just makes the band a little bit bigger, and then the colors on the flags or the use of the rifles just accentuates what the music is all about. And it's just a good part of it here. And I started here 14 years ago, and we didn't have a color guard the first few years. I gave it about 5 years so I could build the band program, and then I introduced the color guard again because in the mid-'90s to the late 90s, Sterlington had a really, really good color guard. I mean, it was a real, they were always competing and doing very well. And then it kind of went away. So then I brought it back. I got some coaches, and now we have an award-winning color guard, many superior ratings, even medaled in Winter Guard, and it's just a very good program.
This is 6th hour. I have Coach Dearman. He teaches civics, and he's a really good teacher.
Teaching about the government, the history of the government, and economics as well. So it's a fun subject to teach. All right, I teach civics, so we're going to do a lot of group stuff. We do a lot of stuff on Google Classroom. We do some group projects, some presentations, things like that. But you also have some essays to write, stuff like that. Advice for incoming students: make sure your Chromebook is charged. That's the biggest. My advice for my class anyway. Make sure everything is charged and you have everything ready to go. The meanest freshman teacher. People say it's me, I don't get it, but people say I can be mean. I hear some things about Coach Patterson, but I think Coach Patterson's pretty awesome, to be honest. So other than that, I don't know.
This is the cafeteria. This is one of the lunch lines right here. The other one is over there. You can also come out this door right here. If maybe you want to eat breakfast. If you follow me, I'll show you the outside area. This is where you come in right here. And you can also sit over here if you want. And this is the outside. You can sit basically anywhere, but can't go on campus though. But you can sit right here anywhere. What do you teach?
All right, I teach Agri-science. Most people or students that I have just call it Ag. And there's several classes that fall under Agri-science. Somebody could take me 9th through 12th grade, and we cover a lot of shop material in here, general construction, welding, electrical, carpentry, and we'll also touch on a lot of career skill type material.
What should upcoming freshmen expect in your class?
Okay. When they first get to my class, we'll start off doing the majority of our stuff in the classroom because we've got to get introduced to the class, procedures and whatnot. We've got to talk about the stuff that we'll be doing in the shop. One of the main things is anything that's safety concerned or concerns safety, the equipment and the tools that they would be using and getting to be familiar with, and along with the other stuff we just talked about with some of the plant, some of the animal science stuff. But the way that we're set up right now, the majority of what we spend our time on is going to be more shop-oriented stuff.
These are the guidance counselors. We have Miss Copeland and Miss Doty. If you have a last name of M through Z, you'll go to Miss Copeland, or last name of A through L, and go to Miss Doty. We're going to ask Miss Copeland a couple questions. Why did you choose to be a counselor?
Well, I started out teaching kindergarten and first grade, and I just found that although I loved being a teacher, my favorite part of the job was the relationships that I had with the parents and the kids, and I loved guiding them through just all the processes of school. And so I just decided maybe I just needed to focus on doing that part of my job, and so I decided to go back to school and become a counselor, and I love it.
What should upcoming freshmen expect?
Well, of course, it's going to be a completely different environment, okay, which is sometimes kind of scary because you've never been in this building before. You don't know the teachers, and so you're kind of leaving all of your comforts behind. But it can be exciting too. It's like a new adventure, just like when you guys went from elementary to middle school. Of course, again, like when you went from elementary to middle school, you noticed that you were expected to be more independent, which was kind of fun, right? Not having everybody over your shoulder all the time. And so high school is kind of like another step in that direction where you're expected to be even more independent than when you went to middle school. And there's more expectations put on you, but that's kind of fun, right? I mean, they're expecting you to grow up, and it's part of growing up. One of the fun things is You might have some classes with just freshmen, which are going to be people that you know, but then you might have some classes where you might have a 10th grader or some 11th graders, or maybe, just maybe, you might have a senior that needs to catch up on a class that maybe they hadn't taken yet. So, especially when you get into your electives. So that's kind of a cool thing, is you don't just have class with your grade, you get to have classes with like other people, and you get to meet new people. So,
do you have any advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Yeah, so again, like I said, it's going to be a new experience. Be confident, be yourself. Like, don't try to be something that you think everybody wants you to be. Be yourself, be true to who you are. And everything, you know, always comes out in the wash that way. Make new friends, you know. Of course, you're going to have your relationships like with your fellow freshmen, but like, you know, meet those upperclassmen, because a lot of times they have a lot of wisdom and guidance they can share with you because they've already been doing this for a few years. So that's the biggest thing I would say. Be okay and be open with making new relationships and making new friends. If there's something you can get involved in the high school sector, definitely get involved, whether it's sports or a club or whatever. I know the middle school's done a great job of that and trying to be really inclusive. Work hard on your grades because it counts in high school. Your high school transcript is what you're going to use to go to college with. There's so many things that rely on your grades being good, so you need to do your best. It really does count in high school, so that's probably my best advice.
Who would you say the meanest freshman teacher is?
I wouldn't really say we have any that are mean. They're all awesome. I would say the one that really just pops out in my mind is Coach Patterson, because he loves to shake things up. He is very high energy. You are always going to be engaged in his classroom. And there's times he might catch you off guard with stuff, but it's not anything that you can't handle or can't do or it's going to freak you out. It's just he's very creative with his assignments and things and stuff. So he's the one that probably is, there's more chatter going about than any other freshman teacher is Coach Patterson. So.
My name is Ray Patterson, and I teach English 1. I'm also the running back coach for our football team and head coach of our golf team. Freshmen should expect to be challenged on a daily basis. They should prepare to meet and maintain a standard of excellence. They should also expect to be held accountable. I have a degree in journalism, I love writing, and I love literature. The decision to teach English was a culmination of my love for writing and research. I would advise incoming students to rid themselves of preconceived notions they may have about high school. Students should reserve judgment about a class or teacher until after they spend a few weeks in his or her class. Finally, I strongly advise students to begin each day with a purpose. Every day counts, and we don't have time to slack off or take it easy. I think many will probably say I am the meanest teacher. For freshmen, this may also be true, but I'm a very loving and easygoing teacher as well. Other than me, I would say Ms. Holland is the meanest freshman teacher.